Hey guys, my name is Ryan.
And my name is Miska.
And welcome to Overwatch Central. So this isn't a video talking about how good Junkrat is at the moment and that he needs nerfing, that he's too good, that kind of thing. It's more a comment on the resurgence of new Junkrat. Anybody that's played any form of placement or competitive games have no doubt seen a Junkrat or two. The changes he's received, his damage output is still about the same, but his ability to kill confirm with his ultimate and mines is a lot stronger than before, and that was Junkrat's biggest problem. So now he's in a really good spot right now. However, there are a few underlying problems surfacing around the rat because of this. We'll talk about the recent nerf to his Riptide and how that's a good step in the right direction. However, the concern is this age of, in inverted commas, Junkrat meta might be very short-lived. Much like another hero that had previously seen huge changes, went up to 100% pick rate in the first few days of that season, and then was shut down a lot.
The Junkrat spam is obnoxious to say the least, and a big thing about the Junkrat changes in particular is how close it follows the buffs of Bastion back in Season 4. Bastion's high meta days were short-lived, and now he exists as one of the least picked heroes within Overwatch. It's not often that a troll pick hero gets catapulted into the heights of near 60% win rate of the time of making this video, and we don't have a problem with Junkrat in particular. He's an incredibly fun hero to play, and he does have his weaknesses that are exploitable. The problem though comes from the very fast increase to the top tiers of play, and how he went from 0 to 100 so quickly. D.Va last season was a really good and healthy example of how a hero becomes viable in the right hands, and how the player base slowly learned how to deal with the new D.Va. It's a slow and steady incline in popularity as players realize the strength of the hero, and comparing this to the triple tank D.Va last year, you see how the rise of certain heroes can actually cripple the game for a quick period of time. It's hard to say whether it will last long or not, but we are definitely in a Junkrat meta currently.
Again, the problem isn't specifically with Junkrat. He's in a really nice spot, and I wouldn't necessarily nerf any elements of his kit other than the tie that was brought down before, and maybe his mine damage down a bit, maybe like 20 or so, because his combo is incredibly strong and can kill squishies and essentially not tank players fairly quickly. Probably a little bit too quickly considering how easy it is to pull off. It's not quite on the same level of one-shot of Doomfist, so it's not that much of a big problem for me. The problem is the implications it has on all of the other heroes in Overwatch. The main factor is that we already know that Junkrat is fairly problematic and too much to handle for a lot of heroes, especially attacking first point on Anubis, for example. To the point that you get some really weird strategies coming out, such as the Orisa Reinhardt double barrier combo. Now don't get me wrong, I'm glad that Orisa is getting more playtime in higher tiers as well, but I don't want Orisa to have a higher pick rate just at the expense of shutting down a crazy Junkrat. D.Va is another hero that gets picked up to deal with a Junkrat, however she's getting her defense matrix nerfed soon, which means that the Junkrat spam is going to be even more obnoxious to deal with. I've seen a Junkrat in almost every game so far on both sides of it as well, and it's a fine balance between Junkrat being viable versus being a complete must pick that you have to pick all of the time. And regardless of the hero, having a feeling that you have to play a certain hero, especially a DPS hero, isn't healthy for the game, as that requires other heroes to be picked to synergize with you, to deal with Junkrat, and then you start to form certain compositions and unfortunate metas, and very quickly this very viable pool of heroes that you can play suddenly becomes a lot smaller. Whilst I would welcome Junkrat into a viable spot in the game, having competitive matches exclusively run Junkrat every game might be incredibly unfun to play against and also to play with. Whilst Junkrat is incredibly fun to play, it's not often that fun to be on the other end of him. And again, that's where the similarities with Bastion meta come into play.
So there were elements of Junkrat's utility that were deemed too strong. The strength of a flying Riptide was one of them, but this was of course dialed down on the PTR just recently. The other thing we have to consider though is that Junkrat almost feels like a new hero now. We find it really refreshing to see Junkrat being used in competitive without it deemed a troll pick, and it's really healthy for the game too, when the last 6 months of play have almost exclusively been dive meta. There's a strong chance that this is just an adapting phase whilst players get used to fighting against Junkrat, and then in a few weeks time, Junkrat won't seem as crazy strong as he does now. But the problem we can see forming is when this adapting becomes, oh, they have a Junkrat, we need to spam barriers or run a D.Va, which then makes the game more stale, slow, and not as fun. This is kind of what happened when Bastion was buffed. The game became a mirror matchup of Bastion versus Bastion comps, and it didn't take long for Bastion to be nerfed into the ground yet again. The viability for most heroes right now in Overwatch is looking fairly good and better than before, I'd say, and lots of heroes can be picked up and played in any given situation really. However, if this trend keeps going with the new Junkrat, the hero viability list may soon decay into who can deal with Junkrat. Either that or Junkrat continues to get nerfed, which is also something we don't really want to see. In short, the huge rise of Junkrat is going to be interesting interesting to witness, as what Blizzard decide to do with it and what the community decides to do with it can definitely be an important part of how fun Season 6 and maybe even Season 7 will be.
And that's it for this time. Thank you very much for watching. Do let us know what you think of Junkrat, whether he's going to be a complete 100% must pick, or whether you feel that this is just the community getting used to a hero that hasn't really been all that viable, especially in the higher tiers, but also those that have invested a lot of time into Junkrat before, in lower tiers, or even the high ones like Crow and PvP Twitch. They're having the time of their lives at the moment with these changes. Let us know what you think of Junkrat in its current state, what you expect to see if these changes still go through, whether we'll see more Orisa, whether D.Va might have to get changed back to old D.Va because of dealing with Junkrat. Let us know below in the comments. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, would help out the channel a lot. And until next time, take care. We'll see you then.